go to the Catholic Church and go to the community. And the money that they ultimately gave to the Community Foundation is really what allows us to be here today.
I had another client who was elderly, had no family, and basically said, well, when I die, just let the state have my money. And I said, we can do better than that. Why do you want to let the state have it? He says, well, because the people around here have been good to me, and so I think, we should just let them have the money. He says, well, wouldn't you like to keep it in Longmont? And he said, yeah, that'd be nice. And I said, would you consider having your estate go to the Longmont Community Foundation? And so we talked about that, and he agreed to do that. And so the result of that was the Howard and Mary Allen Fund, now of the Community Foundation. This was Howard Allen. Mary had insisted that their house go to St. John the Baptist Church for use by the church as a residence. And unfortunately, the house was very run down at the time that Howard finally died. And so, working with Cindy Noble at the Community Foundation, we set up a deal where we would take a portion of the estate to renovate the house to the point it was usable, and everything thereafter would go to the Community Foundation. Cindy and I worked quite closely on that for probably the better part of a year. It was a very successful project for both the Community Foundation and for the church.
Our affiliation with Denver has been really terrific. And I've attended as many of the events that Denver puts on as possible, and that's opened my eyes about philanthropy, especially family philanthropy. I'm particularly interested in family philanthropy.
So I feel pretty strongly that need to have an opportunity to give back to the community, and just have always been interested in helping out where I can. Been very successful in my business and personal life, and think it's it's really each one of our responsibility to provide some support for the community. The community's been great for me, and it seems like it's just a natural response that we help out the community.
I would encourage everyone to get to know about the Community Foundation, how it works, and to participate if they can.
Well, I think the Longmont Foundation is phenomenal. What it's taken and what it's done, what it did for the schools when the schools were going through their problems. What it did by creating and starting a woman's work is just phenomenal. And I did have personal experience with a woman's work.
What I really particularly enjoy about the foundation, and particularly being on the grants committee, is the contact with the nonprofit community. I think that the people who run the nonprofit agencies around here are so smart and such creative thinkers and so dedicated that I think if they were in private industry that they would be making fortunes, but their commitment to their causes and to their nonprofits keep them working there, which is quite a benefit for that.
One fund is named after my wife. It's called the Madeline Marie Molzon Sherrod Scholarship Fund. So I believe this scholarship fund will go on and on. I think high school seniors will continue to profit from that. Another fund is called the Sherrod Church Fund. I believe in theological principles, and I do like to see churches function and grow and thrive. So this other fund makes some interest, and every year my family and I can decide to extend that interest to a specific church. We think that a good, healthy church growth is a good thing.
I'm now the director of Women's Work, which is another charity, and that came to be out of the Longmont Community Foundation. They allowed for, in 2003, basically they set up a fund with the idea that eventually it would become its own nonprofit. A Women's Work is celebrating its 6th anniversary. Had the Community Foundation and the board at that time not committed to establishing getting a woman's work going. That has amounted to over $300,000 being given out in our community to local women in need. That wouldn't have happened if the Community Foundation hadn't stepped up and said, all right, let's try this.
I hope as the community continues to grow and prosper, the foundation will do the same, and that more people will become aware of it and use it as a vehicle for their charitable giving, at least into the local area. I think everybody has multiple charities they support, but I think the foundation is a good way, especially as we get older, that we know it'll be taken care of, and that our families can have input to it in the future.
The more I've learned over the last couple of years, and the more I've become involved, obviously this has become a passion of mine, and I really am enjoying learning more about the foundation and our relationship with the Denver Foundation, and a number of aspects. It's a complicated matter. It's very different from most not-for-profits, and so that's been a challenge for me. So I've enjoyed this run in the seats of the Board of Trustees.
We also provide an important part. We say that we connect people who care with causes that matter, and it's exciting to be a part of that, to help an individual or a family who's looking to make a gift in the community, to help connect them to the sorts of organizations that are actually doing the work that those charitable dollars could help further. So it's a great place to be, and I think there's room for a capacity for growth. And because we serve as an endowment, it will go well into the future, certainly beyond my being here, but beyond the current board, beyond the current staff. It'll be, I imagine, it's knitted into the fabric of this community.
Anybody that was born here, I had a friend that lived next door to me. He's named Larry Nelson. He's part of that Nelson tribe. They're about 5 generations here in town. And Larry used to say, I was born in front of those 2 mountains, and I want to die in front of those 2 mountains. And that's just the way I feel about it. We get up in the morning, we look west, and if we can see Longs Peak and Mount Meeker, everything's okay.
I'm grateful that this is such a great community, and I'm grateful that my parents were here and brought their family up, including me.
I thought I'd be serving the community, but in fact I got more out of it than I gave, I think.
Everybody is somebody in Longmont, and I think that's very true. Whether they are the wealthiest or the poorest, they get recognition.
The friendships that I have made have been terrific and are very important to me, especially with Cindy. She's been like a family member to me, and getting to know Laura, she's extra special too.